Welcome to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds. And today we have one of my bestest friends. It's so funny because we were just talking. I haven't seen his face in forever. Martins Lisi.
Martins.
Martins. That's the first time I've ever done it. I've always been so anti it too, actually, until now.
Can't be anti Martins, man. It's spread now. There's hundreds of thousands of people doing it.
Exactly. But I got the full on Martins when it was just in WeHo.
It was just me by myself, barging in at home, kicking down the door like the Kramer barging in from Friends.
Exactly.
Martins! Oh, shut up, dude. Get over yourself.
But this is perfect because you're one of the best turning coal into diamond stories. You know what I mean? I feel like you're such an epiphany of that.
Thank you,
epiphany
man.
is not the right word of that, but
thank you. I appreciate it.
So introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Martins, currently the world's strongest man, reigning champion.
Yeah.
29 years old, 330 pounds, but I won the world's strongest man weighing 355 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a really good friend of Gerard's, and Gerard's a really good friend of mine. We used to be roommates. And here we are. Quarantined in California, playing video games together from time to time.
Yes. I actually downloaded Overwatch just because of you. We haven't played it.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait. I was going to play right after I finish this.
Oh, maybe. Well, I'm going to have to probably edit this. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
You know, well, what's funny because we're going to talk about how you're such a inspiration of work ethic, and then we're going to probably go and end up playing Overwatch after this.
I'm twitching that shit. I'm making
perfect.
money. It's work, baby.
I'm
working
work, right?
those thumbs, thumb dexterity. You can't just have strong back and legs. The fingers need to be nimble.
You need to work out. Exactly. I hear you. And you have very nimble thumbs, I've heard.
Exactly.
It's
important.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about what it's been like to go from being a personal trainer and just on that, when I first met you, you were third strongest in California and you had to work and progress to who you are and where you are now.
Holy shit, what a journey, bro.
I know, right?
I mean, I came out to California with the vision to eventually get into strongman competitions. As a kid, I really wanted to make it to the top in the world. I mean, I started training when I was 9 years old. My dad put me to the gym. I freaking hated it. But after a year, my dad said, you got to stick to it for a year, then see if you like it anymore. So I stuck to it. And as a 10 or 11-year-old, I fell in love with it. So then I kept training with my dad. And I would go to my grandparents' farm in Latvia, where my grandfather was a stone sculptor too. And he had all these rocks around the farm. And I would help him move them around. And I grew strong on the farm. And I saw on TV these guys doing strongman competitions, doing farm work. And I thought, oh, shit, I'm already doing that as a kid. I could do that as an adult.
Yeah.
And then I set out with the intention to become the world's strongest man one day. And when I came out to California, I was just working for maintenance at first in the middle of the ghetto with people that spoke no English. You didn't know that?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I first came out to California, my very first job, I was hustling, looking for work. I started working as maintenance in Inglewood.
Oh, wow.
Knocking down walls and
oh my goodness, that's so perfect for you.
Ghetto ass houses.
Yeah.
I electrocuted myself at some point, stepped on a nail, knocked down some walls, some rats spilled out.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was gross. So I lasted a month until I got depressed.
Yeah. Wow.
This.
Yeah. Just the rats alone would have had me out. I'm surprised you lasted them out. You know me. That's not.
Oh, God. Miserable. Yeah. And when I was out of, when I quit, I just didn't show up for work one day.
Yeah.
I lost my phone at work.
Yeah.
And my alarm didn't go off, so I didn't make it in on time. And I was like, forget it, I'm not going. Fuck it.
Yeah. You left your phone there and everything?
Yep, I left my phone there. I got a new phone. I just did not want to go back. But
I love it.
But I stayed at home for a week.
Got it.
I watched I watched Lost. Think about how
Lost. Oh,
symbolic
okay.
this is.
Yeah.
I was feeling lost, so I
Yeah,
watched Lost
yeah.
for a
Oh,
few days, like just a marathon of it.
yeah.
Then I watched Heroes, the show
Ooh,
Heroes,
on
for a few days.
NBC.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to love that show.
Oh man. And then I
Before
got
night
this.
shift, so good.
I was like wondering what the hell am I gonna do? I had no money. I just have a TV in the corner of the living room and a
Oh wow.
sleeping bag.
Yeah. Oh
That's
damn.
it. And I thought, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make ends meet? Shit, I don't know what job to get. And what the hell am I thinking? I've been lifting since I was a kid. I have a personal training certificate that I have not put to use yet.
Oh
I came
wow.
out here for strength. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go become a personal trainer.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
then I just looked around, and third interview I got, guy just saw my body and said, shook my hand and said, "You're hired."
Yes, yes, yes. I could imagine.
And that
Because that
was
was
in
also when
West
you were like
Hollywood.
in
Yeah.
West Hollywood, when you were like 200 and like 20 some pounds,
200.
25,
I was ranging between 230, 250, up and down.
230, 250.
Yep.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
so
I
West
remember.
Hollywood, started working at 24 Fitness. Worked at 24 Fitness for 1 year, then went into private training, and that's around the same time I met you.
Yeah, that was right around the same time you met me. Because I remember when I
Right.
first saw you, I wasn't to be friends. But you were also living with Mikkel, who I met in class.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what's also so crazy. And I want really people to get from this podcast is like, one, even that week that you took off, that it's so important to like, to give yourself that time to like rest or feel your emotions, figure out what you need to do to make that next plan. You know what I mean? For some people that's a day, for some people that's a week, for some people that's an hour, but be gentle with yourself enough to just take that time. But then I think what's really important is how you come back from it. And I think you have an amazing story to that.
Thank you, brother. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm so grateful that
for sure.
everything worked out.
And so how did you go from like personal training into more into strongman stuff?
Well, after about a few months of personal training and 24-hour fitness, I thought, okay, I'm here to do strongman. That's like one of the biggest reasons I came out here, was to live the life of palm trees and beautiful weather and do strongman.
Yeah.
So I looked up competitions close by, and I saw there was one in LA. I called up the number for it, and Ode Haugen picked up, who's a legend in the strongman sport.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know it was him on the phone, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I told him I want to compete. And I told him how strong I am, told him all my numbers and stats. And he said, "Oh, yeah, you're strong, but you're not quite strong enough." And I said, "Shoot, I don't care how I do in the competition. I just want to meet these guys so I have some training partners."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, why didn't you just say so? Just come by my garage. I'll train you." So I drive out to Thousand Oaks, and I'm starstruck. This is like a hero of mine.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap, I'm going to train Ode
Yeah,
Haugen.
yeah. Wow. And you didn't know who you were talking to when you had that first call?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
So when I showed up there, I'm like, oh my God, that's who this is?
Yeah.
So yeah, then he started training me, and a year went by, and I said, "Okay, could I compete in that competition yet?" He said, you're not ready." And another year goes by. I placed third place in California's Strongest Man. I'm like, "Can I compete in that competition?" He's like, "Not yet." Third year goes by.
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, I think you're ready."
Wow.
So 3 years of training with him, he finally let me compete in his competition, which was a pro amateur show, meaning amateurs competing against professionals.
Got it. Wow. Okay.
So he finally let me compete, and I won. That's the show where I got my pro card. And I think you were there.
Yeah, I was.
You were there.
Was that the one in the downtown, the expo?
That's the one, motherfucker. No. You were there, and you saw me with my pro card. I was 275 pounds.
That's awesome.
That's when I won my pro card, and things blew up from there.
And so one of the things I definitely want to talk about, or just get your idea, because we haven't ever talked about this yet. I remember specifically, so I know Ode is definitely one of the people that have inspired you. I also know Arnold Schwarzenegger is another one that's really inspired you. Because what's funny is there was a day that, and people I'm sure can guess that we're very different people. So it was really just entertaining, I think, how great friends we've become. But you made all of us watch like an Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary because it meant so much to you, and like we all got in. And one of the first times you ever were mad at me is because I fell asleep during that documentary. And you probably don't remember this.
No, I don't, but I do remember it.
But it was always such a big, prominent moment in our friendship because I was like, man, I've made this guy listen to Miley Cyrus and Beyonce and just do all this crazy stuff. I can at least get through this documentary. And now you're competing in his competitions. You've gotten, you guys have a close relationship. What is that like? And what's that been for you?
It's been incredible because let's see. I mean, I've definitely seen Arnold before all these competitions, just in passing, but I was just like a nobody.
Yeah.
When I started placing high up, he now comes up to me and he's like, "Hi, how are you, Martins? You're the future of the sport. You're gonna make it grow." And he's just so warm to me. That's just incredible. It's like my childhood idol. Like he's coming up to me and saying, like, you have the character to make the sport blow up.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe it. It's like I'm just.
And I feel like you're doing that. Do you feel like you're doing that? Like you?
Hell yeah. I'm absolutely competing in strongman and doing everything I'm doing with the intention to help put the sport in a spotlight and grow it.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. So what's been kind of the biggest challenge? I think I have an idea for what it's been like seeing you, but what has it been like for you actually in the competitions and making this happen?
Oh boy. Oh, there's so many challenges. One has been eating.
Eating has been a challenge for you?
It is challenging to eat enough to get big and strong.
Really?
It's hard.
Wow.
That is the hardest part of all this. Also the pressure, because at first, getting into the sport, I was just super excited just to be a part of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't care how well I did.
Yeah.
Everything was a learning experience. And if I placed last, okay, so what? I'm competing against these guys. It's amazing. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
But then when I started placing to the top of the world, especially winning World Strongest Man, now the world sees me differently. There's expectations and the pressure that's come from it is. I never expected that.
Wow.
That definitely has kept me up at night.
Wow. How do you deal with that?
Video games, some other stuff that you know about.
OMG.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I have several ideas.
So probably all of those.
Yeah.
All of those.
Got it.
But also just learning to accept the pressure and taking it head on and using it as a driving force and fuel. Because now I've won worlds, but my passion is going, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I want to win it again, but I also want to get into movies. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see.
Yeah, that's been really cool. You have a hefty commercial out and a couple other things coming out. Talk about that.
So what happened was I got one of the producers for the show called Game On reached out to me. It's a brand new show that's going to be airing pretty soon. And he wanted me to be part of the show as an obstacle course. It's like there's these two teams competing to win this game show. I'm not allowed to say too much, but I'm one of the obstacles.
Got it.
And Gronkowski from the Patriots was there. And I started hanging out with him, talking with him. We were having a good time. He's a freaking awesome guy.
I'm still amazed by that you're friends with freaking. Well, he's not a Patriot anymore, so I'm like.
He's going to the Buccaneers. Yeah.
I know. We'll not talk about this. We're both also, Martins and I are both from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
This is kind of a thing. I don't know if you care. It's kind of a thing for me with people who wouldn't be surprised or would be surprised by, but like, losing Brady and him, or well, we lost him and then we lost him again, kind of.
Yeah. And
he came back and didn't come back. You know?
It's nuts. With that note, I've not told the world yet this, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not really a secret. But take this with a grain of salt because I don't know yet. I'm gonna spend the next 2 weeks to really figure out if I want to do this or not.
Yeah.
But I'm considering trying out for the Buccaneers.
No way.
We'll see. Don't get too excited.
Just to
we'll see.
We'll
see.
So crazy.
It's on my mind.
OMG.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. It's
not
on his
super
mind, guys.
set in motion yet, but you're hearing it here first.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that I was going to be the one getting the tea, the first tea on this podcast. Wow.
That's right.
Most of your fans probably don't even know what the tea means, but it means the inside scoop, guys. It means the inside scoop. That's so awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that because of your friendship with Gronk?
Yeah, that's kind of how that's. Well, multiple reasons. So I met Gronk's manager while I was shooting for the show.
Yeah.
And Henry Penzi, who now I'm working with, he's my manager, and he's been helping me get all these deals. And he's also working on getting me movies, and he also has access to getting me into the tryouts. So we'll see.
That's so awesome. Well, obviously I'm rooting for you. That would be the one reason why I would ever vote or root for the Buccaneers. That would be the only ever thing that I could switch from the Patriots to. Well, I wouldn't ever switch. I would have both teams, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Tough. I'm so happy for you. And that's even, I want to just touch on, one, I'm just so excited for you. And then once again, just hearing how, where you were when you were in that moment of a week of watching Lost and Heroes, to where you are now. Never judge where you are to where you could be. You know what I mean?
For sure. And things can blow up fast, but you gotta stay consistent.
Sure.
That's the one thing that's always been a part of me and part of my routine is consistently stepping forward
completely
towards my chief aim or goal.
Completely.
It could be baby steps, but they have to be consistent.
Completely.
And they have to be forward. You can't just walk in place. You gotta move forward.
Yeah. You've always inspired me. One of the things I've never even actually told you this, last November you were on another game show, right? To Tell the Truth. Yeah. So what's really funny about this is I think 2 weeks prior to me, or maybe not even 2 weeks, but I saw your Instagram and all of that about it. And I was like, oh my God. Cause I auditioned for that. And I've killed the audition, all of this stuff. And I got to a place where I was even if I don't get it, I'm just that's cool. It's the universe just telling me that it's not the right moment or whatever. And then I saw you got it and I was like, oh my God, I wish we had gotten it together. It would have been so cool.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
How fun would that be? And there was oh man, I felt kind of bad, oh, am I not good enough? I started comparing myself. And one of the things in that moment too, I then got even more motivated because one of the things that you just said that you've always inspired me is consistency.
Yeah,
I was just wow, you have always been somebody that I can put in my brain as somebody who's been consistent for what they wanted in their life. And when I did that, when I thought about it in that way, I was that gave me so much more drive to be more consistent in my craft and more consistent in the things that I want to do so that I can have that moment for myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that was just so awesome.
Well, did you hear that? There was some crazy person downstairs. I live in Venice, so
there's plenty of crazy.
It's kind of instead of a rooster on a farm, I kind of wake up to homeless people yelling profanities, conspiracy theories. That's my morning alarm.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, consistent action, man. Well, that's so awesome, dude. That's so, so awesome. That's gonna,
Yeah.
are you like, so, because you're
But
thinking about
consistent
it
action forward. A lot of people
forward.
can be consistent. Do not spin
True.
your wheels in place. You
True.
got to think, what's next? How can I make this bigger? How can I make this better? Even if it's a little bit better, you got to make
Completely.
it always better. Whatever you're doing, you got to constantly make it better and bigger, just a little bit at a time. But every week, it's got to be better than last week.
I hear you. That's because like those weeks add up to months, months add up to years,
Exactly.
years add up to decades.
Exactly.
And
The
keep going.
consistency alone isn't enough because you can be
Yeah.
consistent doing the same thing every day, but then you're in the same spot.
Right. I actually heard something a long time ago that talked about just the difference between like the idea practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people like that, and I still get inspiration from that, like because it's talking about practice and consistency, but you can practice or do the same thing the wrong way,
for sure.
and it could, you know what I mean, or if you're doing the same thing over and over, like it's not working. So it really does make a huge difference to take those moments to think about how to make it better, bigger. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I love
It's
that.
a
Forward
huge key
actions.
component. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about what's kind of next for you, because we're in this quarantine. Obviously, you're not in the gym. Like something's changed in the regimen and competitions. We're not sure when that's next. So how are you? What are you doing to keep yourself occupied? And
So I'm definitely lifting.
yeah,
My good friend Rob Mark has him and I we've started a garage gym,
awesome.
and we're pulling together more and more equipment. So this has actually been a blessing in disguise because it's forced us to get our own stuff,
Yeah.
start putting together our own dream gym, so that down
Mm,
when this is all over, we could open up a place, a strongman gym here in Venice, California.
yeah. That'd be
So yes, I'm
awesome.
lifting, but I'm lifting lighter. I'm also doing a lot of rehabilitation work. I've been working with this guy from Squat University on Instagram.
Okay.
His name is Aaron Horschig. He's an awesome doctor of physical therapy. He set me up with a lot of routines to help work my deficiencies and balances and get my body
Mm,
healthy. Oh, and it's working so
yeah,
well. My
yeah.
body feels better than it has in years.
Oh,
So
that's
again,
awesome.
all of this has been for me personally a blessing in disguise. Of course, I'm very sad as to what's happening in this world. I'm sad for all the people suffering or losing their
Yeah,
work or sick.
yeah,
I mean, that sucks.
yeah,
So on a macro level, this sucks. On a micro level, in my life, this has been
yeah,
really good for me.
for sure. Well, one of the things, Lindsay Rose O'Neill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually on my podcast earlier. I don't know when it's going to actually air compared to this one, but we talked about exactly what you talked about, how this could really, everybody's in different positions right now, whether, some people got laid off from work, some people were already working from home. So people are feeling it very differently. And for some, I think it's very important to have your own experience. So whether that's, creating your own gym or your own podcast, creating a book, whatever it is,
Hell yeah.
or if that's also taking time to rehabilitate your family and your life and things like that, make sure that you're doing it in a responsible and positive way, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There are always opportunities.
that's great.
Always.
That's
And I
good.
am so grateful for the friends I have, like Romark and John, that have pushed me forward lately. And now
Yeah.
you two to be on this podcast is exciting. Always
I
staying
know
creative,
you're a
always
little
keeping busy.
reluctant.
I was not reluctant. Was I reluctant? I was not.
You weren't. You weren't. We'll say you weren't.
Okay. No way. I was just saying I'm busy. That's all.
Yeah, no. It wasn't that you were reluctant. I feel like for me, I get that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times you don't like to talk about yourself. Like I feel like that you're inspiring and motivating, and then sometimes I get the vibe that like, because you are so just. One of the things I also love about you is through all of this changes in your life, you're still like the nicest guy I know. You know what I
I
mean?
love that.
Like
That
you're
makes me
so
happy.
humble and so chill and
It's
so
because I didn't do it by myself. I gotta it's important to remember it takes a village.
It does. It definitely
So,
does.
but I appreciate that you call that out in me. That's nice.
Yes, for sure. So what's the next competition? And I mean, we probably don't know when, but what is the next competition for you? What are you preparing for?
So I'm preparing for. We'll see. If I don't take this NFL route, or if that doesn't work out, it's definitely gonna be World's Strongest Man coming up in November.
Oh wow.
Other than that, I'm just rehabilitating my body, trying to feel good, and also
Yeah.
get more into TV and movies and stuff.
Yeah. So if you were to try out, would that be tryouts for this year or tryouts for 2021?
It's a good question. I'm going to need to consult with someone. I would like to try out for this year because
Yeah.
I want to do it while I'm still young. So ideally this year. The
Yeah.
sooner the better.
That's awesome. Man, that's so cool. I can't even believe you said that.
Very excited.
That's really cool. So what's your favorite workout, least favorite workout that you probably like always have to do or get to do in your workout to stay strong?
So out of my strongman movements, Atlas stone lifting is my favorite.
Yeah, I could.
I'm taking a little break from it right now just to heal up my body, but I love Atlas stones. It's a staple of strongman, and it absolutely no muscle group goes unworked.
Really? Good to know.
Because yeah, if you're lifting a stone, you have to, of course, deadlift it up, but to grab the stone, you basically have to do a pec fly, which involves your biceps, your shoulders, and your pecs. Then you pull the stone up into your lap using your lats, your back, your legs, your butt, everything. And then you have to squat the stone up, and then possibly push the stone onto a platform or over a bar, which uses your triceps as well. So nothing goes unworked.
Got it. You heard it here first, guys. So
there. Damn. I might not post this on my story after.
All right, we'll edit that part out. We'll edit this part out.
Shit, I forgot about it. You did tell me. I forgot. Damn, I'm not ready. Damn.
Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny to see how red you are. People probably won't get to see how red you are. But...
Yeah, no. Fuck. Shit.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. All right. Well, that's really all I have for you. Do you have any questions for me? I've actually never asked anybody anything like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, shoot. Where do you live these days?
I told you this. I live in Studio City.
I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. Awesome. I'm so bummed you moved away from Santa Monica.
I know.
Especially
we were so
now
close.
That we're getting reconnected.
I know. So what's funny? What he's bringing up is I used to live maybe 2 to 3 miles from him. After we were pretty like just schedules. You're busy, I'm busy. Things are happening, so we hadn't talked for a long time, and then we got reconnected. But you're always traveling, so we never really got to hang out. And then I finally moved to like not down the street, but near you. And then I kind of moved again. Yeah, bro. Man. Studio City.
After this quarantine, I'd love for you to come visit, check out our new place. I love living here in Venice, Santa Monica area.
I actually I'm not saying I'm looking for places, but if I were to move ever again, it would definitely be back on the west side. I do miss it. I do.
Awesome, brother.
It's just I love everywhere. I get to appreciate so many places of Los Angeles. I don't think like I love living where I used to live in Larchmont Village. When we lived in West Hollywood, that was a good time. You know, I would say the West Side was definitely the West Side and where I'm at. I would say the two favorite spots, though.
Yeah, sure. I went from Culver City to West Hollywood to Thousand Oaks.
I know. When you lived at Thousand Oaks, that was a serious.
I'm so happy. Yeah, it is close to the gym, and it helped me focus on strongman and tunnel vision in on that. So it was really beneficial. But I'm so happy to be out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. How's the dating life?
The dating life is great. But nothing serious right now. No committed ladies, but definitely it's been a good life.
Martins. Oh, let me ask you this. How did the dragon come about?
So the dragon came about from Moss wrestling tournament.
Okay.
It was my very first time going to Russia to compete with Yakutia, in the Arctic Circle.
Uh-huh.
And as I was competing to really psych myself up,
Uh-huh.
I would like do this intense face where it looked like I was like breathing fire and just
Yeah.
freaking into the zone.
You're in the zone when you're competing. Yeah.
And I would like rip people, I'd rip at them and throw them around, and I would yell.
Yeah.
And people and one of my teammates thought, shoot, this guy looks like a freaking dragon when he competes. Some other fucking dragon.
Yeah.
And it spread from that. Yeah, it's
stuck. What's really funny is that you say that, and I hope this is like more a compliment than anything. But I've never been so afraid of you because you are, like I said before, you are just like such a nice person, as big as you are. But when you compete, that is a moment when I'm just like, I would never want to piss this dude off. Like to see where you get to if you were ever to need to get to that place is like.
I save it for when I need it.
Yeah. It was really great. We're all grateful.
We're all grateful. It's good. Keep it that way, bro. You're doing the right thing.
And then actually, I forgot because I did want to mention this. You're really good friends with somebody that you had to compete with, one of your biggest competitors, which is like the Mount. Most people know him as the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know him by his actual full name, so I'll let you say.
I just call him Thor, but his full name is Hafthor Bjornsson. He's from Iceland. He's 6'8", 6'9", 6'8", 450 pounds. This guy is like on another level.
Yeah.
Of huge.
Incredible. How do you maintain the headspace to know that you have what it takes? Because you competed against him the year prior and didn't win World's Strongest, and then had to come back and dominate. And then now you guys also have a friendship, and like, what was that like to go from?
I was a fanboy before. When I first saw him, I'm like, oh my god, it's Hafthor! Wow.
Yeah.
And I like begged him to eat dinner, and he never ate dinner with
me. Rude.
It was like, can we have steaks? Like, yeah. And then we didn't have steaks.
Yeah.
But years later, after competing together for a while, now I go visit him in Iceland multiple times. I've been there multiple times, and we hang out and live together. And now we're even playing video games together.
Yeah,
we play Call of Duty Warzone.
Warzone, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty epic. I mean, I love it. It's pretty awesome. We share tips, secrets, and strength, and help each other out.
Yeah. Was it ever intimidating, like seeing somebody who's another 6 inches taller than you, 5-6 inches, and
100 pounds heavier?
Yeah.
It's insane. The first time I met him at a competition, I was in Iceland. I was competing in Giants Live. It was my first professional competition, World's Strongest Man placing competition. Top 3 go to World's Strongest Man. Anyway, so we were in the athlete's tent. Thor had a bucket full of eggs. A bucket. Okay. And I was kind of putting on my sleeves next to him.
Is that more than a dozen?
I mean, it was just an insane amount of eggs. I've seen so many eggs. So, anyways, I was putting on my knee sleeves right next to him, and I accidentally bumped his elbow, and an egg fell out of his hand.
Oh.
And he looked at it on the ground, looked at his empty hand.
Oh.
Looked at that empty hand and looked up at me and said, "Eat it."
No.
I ran out of that so fast.
OMG.
Yeah, so that was my first like interaction with him.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
the answer to that would be then yes, you were a little intimidated.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that guy was a
Wow.
monster. But
Wow.
as I've hung out with him more, and as I've competed, and as I've
Yeah,
seen my own strength raise,
for sure.
not so much
For
anymore.
sure. Yeah, of course. That's so crazy. That's I can't even imagine. I would like pee on
Yeah.
myself. Eat it. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh wow. Well, I'm just gonna say that. Well, do one last plug for where they can find you. I know you're on Instagram, you're on Twitch, you're on like everything but TikTok, maybe.
I have a TikTok. I just don't have anything
Um,
on it. I'll
you,
work on it.
there you go.
I'm
So,
wondering what to put on there, like me peeling oranges or something. Like
well,
I
your
love oranges.
infamous rotator thingies.
I do my rotators and I eat oranges. Everybody knows me for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have a perfect peel that I do when I peel an orange.
Oh, I have to look this up.
One peel.
Okay.
I do it good.
All right. Well, where can they see this?
Well, that's what I'm working on. I'm thinking maybe I'll do TikTok peeling oranges videos. That'll be my niche.
Got it. And what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Martins Licis, MartinsLicis.
And YouTube?
YouTube, Martins Licis, MartinsLicis.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Turning Coal into Diamonds. Make sure that you guys are liking and subscribing on Spotify and iTunes. Leave any reviews, any comments. We're always open to if there's any questions or any specific guests you want to see next. But I think this has been a really fantastic one. Thank you, Martins. Once again, you've always been one of my great friends, such an inspiration. I just thank you for what you're doing for the people around you and for your sport, because I think that's really important to really give, to be a giver, and you're such a giver in that way. So thank you.
I try. Thank you.
You
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
For
Good
sure.
to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you.